Hey, Miss Peaches. Morning.
Top of
Mm,
the morning to you.
And the rest of the day to you.
Well, that's just selfish. Why do I need the whole day? There's enough hours for it to go around, right?
That's the traditional response in our end. You say top of the morning to you, and the response is, and the rest of the day to you.
So when someone says, "What's up?" what's the response to that?
I got no idea.
I usually answer questions with more questions, like, "What's up?"
Right? I got a picture from Desiree. She's over at Tabby's.
Oh, good. I can go see her.
Right?
I want to bring Snuggly, but he gets into everything, and I don't, like, I know she's got kids, but I know for the most part her house is baby proof, but it's just like him to find the flaws in your logic.
He is a very smart little hamster, isn't he?
He's a little shit, dude. Oh my god. He's like back talking. Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but we've been going through potty training for a while now. Like kind of like what Moose does with potty training, but he's different. Instead of messing himself by accident, he'll go and he'll piss in the kitty litter. Or he'll go and he'll piss in the trash can. He's taking a shit in the kitty litter, and I shit you not, Sean, I was like this close to taking Sean Joey to the vet.
Oh my god, I saw a post about that once. I seriously did. Alright, so check this out. Two of the people here at the Starbucks, they've been through similar shit. Not even close to on the same level, but they're not happy with the way that, mental hatches treat people, or how people who are suicidal are treated, or how the police treat people who are suicidal. And your friend, the police officer, is also on the same page as me as far as that goes.
Yeah. No, the thing about Britt is that she's not your conventional officer. She comes from the similar background as me or Kayla or Monica, any other fucking street rat.
So she's been through some shit.
She has been through some shit, and I don't even know like the half of it, but the half of it that I do know, holy fuck, dude.
Right?
Like her and her sister are bad the fuck ass in my book. The shit that they've both been able to like overcome, like I don't know, Brie not so much, but Britt, she's a badass. She's my
Hell
friend.
yeah. See, now, if I'd have known she existed, I'd have gone to her. You know what I found out? I was
What?
reading through the guidelines and the stuff on making a report to the police. Every police who denied me the right to make a report broke the law. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Each and every goddamn one of them.
That includes Officer Amos, though. Do what?
Doesn't matter if you're homeless or not, or if you have mental health issues. You're still a fucking U.S. citizen.
Yep.
It's bullshit for them to treat you second rate, dude.
Now, how many
not
people?
just because everybody, but especially because they have gone out of their way to jump jurisdictions to try to clear up their fucking. They know they fucked up. That's why they treated you the way that they did. And because you were not relenting to them, they made it worse. And I'm not saying it's okay, and I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm making an observation.
You're good. A lot of people, I understand both of us deal with a lot of people who've been through a lot of trauma and they take things wrong, a lot of them intentionally. I can understand why you would think that I would do that. And me, I have definitely taken a lot of shit wrong when people have said it just because of the state of mind I was in. Like right after fucking Ted sent that threat, I don't even remember who it was that I bitched out, but I went back and reread what it is that they had typed to me, and I was thinking to myself, holy fuck, I took that wrong. Although, when I was rereading it, I had to reread it a couple of times because it was easy to take it the way that I took it. Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe go too easy.
Do what?
I was going through some of the shit on Facebook because you were saying to take screenshots and shit. Like, I had already gotten over 100 screenshots, and I'm like sitting here thinking to myself, like, what really is necessary here? You know? Because I've seen a lot of people slandering you, and that's necessary. You know? That is very necessary to take screenshots of that because it's not okay for them to treat you like that.
I took over 300 screenshots today. I'm not in any of those groups, so I can't really take screenshots of that, and that's the stuff I was asking people for help with. But yeah, you're totally right. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, it's alright. But I was looking around, and I didn't see any death threats towards you. I just seen like a bunch of like he needs to be hanged or he should be ashamed of himself and stupid shit like that. And it's like, well, you don't even know this fucking, you know. And then even after the fact, you still have people like you fucking Chimo killed baby killing murderer or some shit. And I was like, dude, did you not read the fucking news? Like, what the fuck kind of world did you bury yourself in to not know that he's innocent? Like, what the fuck? And then I wanted to take a screenshot of that, but my phone kind of like restarted on me. And then I went back to go see, and I thought it was on your page, because there was another one, there was a chick, and she was like, just because the world isn't singing you your lullabies. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, no, that is a completely wrong attitude to approach this with. And I was going to say something, but I wanted to go and find that dude. And I couldn't find the dude.
Oh, yeah, I reported him to Facebook. I reported 11 things to Facebook. If you're talking about Adam Klein.
Yes.
Yes, a lot of that stuff was removed. The problem is, everything that was a response to that thread or a response after that point gets removed as well.
Yes.
So when I was reporting those things, I was taking screenshots. I have screenshots of that stuff, actually, because I took screenshots of it before I reported it. Erin Cockerham got a hold of me, and she was telling me that the police told her that she needs to report it to Facebook or they're not going to do anything, which is against the law also. But
that is also, yeah.
If you do that, then it destroys
John,
the evidence.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I gotta get back in.
All right, be safe. Love you.
I'll call you on my lunch if you'll be up.
Yes, ma'am. I am having a pretty... I won't be sleeping tonight. That's pretty well guaranteed. But I'm in a better mood. You fucking called me. Thank you, Miss Peaches.
Yes, I love you. You have a good night, and call me tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. Well, call me on your lunch break.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So that's 2 positive notes. Desiree is with good people. Josh is no longer there, so she won't beat the fuck out of him. Don't get me wrong. Desiree is a hardcore alcoholic. Josh is a hardcore alcoholic. But Desiree will fuck him up for lipping off at Tabby. She will fuck him up if he calls them kids a cunt. She will fuck him up. So it's a good thing he's not there. And Miss Tabby is a fucking joy to be around. Oh my God, she's a joy to be around. If Josh hadn't been there while I was there, that place would have been so perfect. The problem is alcoholics constantly need attention. Josh is like that. Shannon is like that. Desiree is like that. But also, Desiree was going through a very fucked up situation there in fucking, well, here, I should say, in Cheyenne. Also, she was trying to recover from methamphetamines. When you're recovering from methamphetamines, it's extremely important to keep your brain occupied. If you have somebody who's addicted to methamphetamines, try to find something fun to do with them. Try to find something to keep their mind occupied. And don't think about the things that you would do. Think about what they like. If Amanda was addicted to meth, I would probably play a marathon of whatever incestuous show that she's interested in. Game of Thrones, whatever. Apparently she doesn't watch Game of Thrones anymore. Well, cool. Whatever it is that she happens to enjoy. Now, there's some things that I said that were incorrect, but I admitted that they were incorrect. Like when I said that Lana never had a job, and she corrected me. She did. She let me know that she had the dog grooming. And she's right, she did. She absolutely did have that going on. It's not like she had a full schedule and was grooming dogs, well, not even every day. Matter of fact, a lot of times she wasn't even grooming a dog a week. But the fact is that she was grooming dogs. So I admitted that on my YouTube before it was destroyed. This is actually the first YouTube that I made that I was able to make videos on. It's because when I was trying to get everything together, I was trying to make it so that it was all consolidated on one account. It was very difficult to do. Now, there's a lot of stuff that really pissed me off right at the very beginning. Like, as soon as Amanda had said that I was going to Rapid, well, and I didn't find this out until much later, but I did take screenshots of it, is that immediately after that, Amanda was in one of those groups, and she was claiming that I was not going to Rapid City, because people were typing in there that I was going to Rapid City. That means either Cara Mia told on me, or Evan Daka told on me, or one of those other people in those groups. Which means that they were pretending to be my friends, which is what I was paranoid of. There's a difference between being paranoid because you're schizophrenic and paranoid because you're aware of the situation. I have those screenshots. I still have those screenshots. The problem is it's thousands of screenshots, thousands of situations, and they all tie in together. Cara Mia didn't actually send me money. She claimed that she had sent me $250 or something. No, that's not true. People did send me money. She just wasn't one of them. Shannon Alvarado was going to send me money, but it wouldn't have done me any good at that point. By the time she was able to send it, I already had things going on and had it taken care of. It was well in hand. So I told her to keep her money. She's a mom. There's a big difference between Shannon and Josh. Josh is physically abusive, not just emotionally. While I was at Shannon's and she was having her arguments, it did get pretty heated. It did get pretty loud, and she's not rational when she's doing it. People who are drinking, they're not rational. But we all already know this. Everybody has argued with somebody who is too smashed for another shot, talking about how sober they are. That's what alcohol does to your brain. It also destroys your liver. Now, some people say, well, it's not that bad, I only drink beer. Or it's not that bad, I only drink wine. Or it's not that bad because wine is actually good for you. Well, are you drinking a glass of red wine a night? Or are you drinking a bottle of Chardonnay every day? And how big is that fucking bottle? Am I judging these people? No. I'm saying how it is. Judging someone who is an alcoholic is completely different from stating a fact. Teresa Orn, she did the things that she did because she's an asshole when she's drunk. She doesn't mean to be, but she's always drunk. Life is what it is, isn't it? The thing that me and Natalie were friends over was that we had a lot in common. There's also a lot of things that we don't have in common. I'm not pretty, so I don't get listened to like she does. I don't get the attention that she does. Now, a lot of people, they offered me help. Like immediately after Natalie disappeared, or immediately after they found out that she was dead. A lot of people are like, I know you didn't do it. I want to offer you help. The problem is that I was on Facebook bans, and I had to go through a whole crap ton of threats to get to that. I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucked up. It's like what I went through the whole fucking year before, except 100 times worse. And it was all rapid fire, one after another, after another, after another. And I'm going through all these threats and going, fuck. You know, I need help. And I found out months later how many people were actually trying to help me. But I was on a Facebook ban. Well, an officer just drove by. Facebook ban after Facebook ban after Facebook ban, because people who didn't bother to find out the situation wanted to hate me that much. Most of you can be Facebook banned. They can go through and find stuff from a year ago and get you banned on that. One of the things that I got a Facebook ban for was for admitting that I didn't have it in me to kill James Payton. Now, there's a woman named Shauna Sinclair. When I was up there in Rapid City, South Dakota, Shauna was going to lose her place. That's not okay. It just so happened that I had the money to send her some. I was going to send her $200, but I ended up sending her $300. I had the money to do it. Normally, I'm against giving people money, but this is a single mother who has literally been a hero to many people that I know. She has been a hero to my heroes. And I'd be willing to say that it's worth more than a $300 investment. And she wanted to tell me that she'll pay me back someday. No, that's not necessary. That's not what it's for. Me, when I know that I got to pay somebody back, I have severe anxiety over it. Matter of fact, just accepting anything like that from somebody, I get severe anxiety over. Now, with the GoFundMes, there were 5 of them all together. I was eventually able to get my own set up and figure that out. It took a long time. It took a lot of screwing up. But I never made $1 off of any of them. While Ted went to Boston off of the money that was supposed to pay for his daughter's funeral. What kind of a sick fuck rapes his daughter and then goes on vacation when she gets shot in the fucking head? Fuck Ted. Somebody's got to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. But I'm not going to say nice things anymore. I was a good man for a lot of years and nothing changed. Nothing changed. The system in Boulder, Colorado was fucked up when I was 6. It's fucked up today. Rich people don't want to see poverty. So they have poor people to pay taxes to lock up people who are even more poor. And then the poor are pissed off because they're paying for this stuff. So they go and take it out on these poor people they're paying to get arrested. So then these homeless people who are so broke that they can't hire an attorney are getting locked up because broke people hate them because they have to pay taxes. And I hear a lot of that. A lot of people pissed off because they're paying taxes for all these services for the homeless. And the homeless are like, what the fuck? None of these services are doing what they're supposed to. I got people who are pissed off at me because they're paying taxes and thinking that I'm getting free shit that I'm not. Meanwhile, I worked real jobs, actual jobs, severe manual labor jobs. Amanda lives with her mom. What does a single parent do? That's what Amanda does. Except she doesn't have to work a regular job to do that. She just lives with her mom. They found a way to cheat the system. Bravo. But then they want to judge me because I'm not working. Lana doesn't work. Amanda doesn't work. They both have paychecks coming in. Both of them. Amanda gets paid more than her mom as her caretaker. She's not wiping her mom's ass. She's not. She's not doing anything for her mother that she wouldn't have to do anyway if she was living with her mother and had a job. If they both had jobs, they would both still need to eat. Miss Peaches is a good woman and she's a good mother. Tabby is a good woman and she's a good mother. Shannon is a good woman and she's a good mother. Lana, well, she raised Amanda the way that she would raise a dog, and she admits this. Amanda's a good mother. The problem is that they're not registering in their heads that when I got up there, I had been assaulted repeatedly. Repeatedly, including by the police. This isn't like just having an autistic person there. This is an extreme situation and I needed someone to listen. But every time I started to talk about what was going on, I'd get snapped at by Lana. When I first got there, one of the first things that Amanda said to me when I walked through the door, I was talking about how that situation with Jamie was so fucked up and that most women who are in an abusive relationship like that and end up with a decent dude like Jamie did, they end up getting bored with that decent dude and going back to their abuser. And Amanda sent me into a panic attack immediately by saying, well, Sean, Jamie is back with James. Oh. Turns out Jamie's not back with James. She's with a good man. The same man that she was, well, when I broke that phone that I got from Natalie and Alicia for my birthday in 2016, I broke that phone because I heard Jamie and that man having sex in the bathroom. I would have been okay with that if I'd not been. It surprised me. Like, that's not. Emotionally, Jamie was the one woman that I thought I was in love with. Out of everyone that I've known my entire life, she was it. And it wasn't because she was pretty. It's because we could talk about anything. Anything at all. When I say I would still die for these people, I mean it. I want my life to end, but I can't force myself to kill myself. I've tried. When I was younger, the only time I tried to kill myself was when I was on antidepressants. When I was over at Jamie's, she was so confusing. Like, she was my best friend. And then she was going to help me try to figure out women. Because when I'm in a situation, and I've been through it, I know what to expect. I can tell after that. But when I've never been in a situation, I don't know. So, with Jamie Curtis. And yes, I know there's an actress with that same name. Just so you know, I know 2 Jason Jepsons and 2 Haley Smiths. One of those Haley Smiths used to work at Starbucks. The other one is a crazy wingnut who got her boyfriend and another boy stabbed to death at Pier's house. These are true stories, by the way. Little J, as we call him in Chapel, Nebraska, that's Brandon Jepson's brother. He's a little tweaker fuck. He's really just a straight up asshole. And then there's Big J. That's Gary Jepson's son. He's a decent guy. He really is. There's quite a bit I have to say about the Jepson family. Both of them, actually. So, the first Jepson family. It's Ron and Terry and their 4 kids. Their oldest son, his name is Mike. He's the sheriff up there in, I want to say Valentine or Sergeant, but I'm probably wrong about that. He's got cat eyes. No joke. He's got pupils like a cat. They're not round, they're up and down. And he talks to me like I'm a human being. I probably haven't talked to him in 2 decades at least. But I remember he was well reserved, and he spoke very decently. I also remember that Brandon and Terry and Mike were all still have very strong emotions about corrupt police and corrupt sheriffs and working for them. Because Mike worked for a corrupt sheriff by the name of Jim Haith. Now, the second oldest is Brandon, and he was my best friend in high school. And then Kim and Jason are twins, and they are the difference of night and day. Kim is one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. She is, and I'm not talking about physically, although when I was in high school, her and a girl named Alyssa Derry were the 2 girls that everyone had a crush on. It's funny, Kim was my best friend when I first moved there. She was my very first friend that I ever knew I'd get to keep. And the one I had a crush on was Alyssa. Alyssa wasn't always the nicest, though. Little Jay got into meth, and he did a lot of really messed up things. And no matter how messed up the things he did, I forgave him. I never forgot, but I forgave him. Kim never did me wrong. I did her wrong, though. I recorded a conversation between me and her mother, and, well, you get to hear about that if you go back that far. The other Jepson family, that's Gary Jepson and his family. He's got a few kids. His oldest son is Rory, and I don't know who's older between Rory and Cammie. Cammie is his daughter, and she's a badass as well. Matter of fact, that whole family are they're just wonderful people. Every one of them. I mean, they got Mary and Gary Jepson. Their middle name is Lynn. Their names are literally one letter off. And their kids are Rory and Cammie and Dana and Jason. Dana knows a bit about Clearview. That's where they injected me with those drugs. Mind-altering drugs. The kind of drugs that people who are running around doing all these school shootings are on. And those pills may not be all that fast-acting, but when you inject that into somebody, yeah, you're going to get a reaction pretty fucking quick. Especially when you got somebody who's one of their biggest fears. See, I'm not afraid of needles. You can draw my blood. I'm afraid of being injected with stuff. They got a bunch of grandkids. Brady is a little fucking shithead. Now he's a really big shithead. But, even when he's mouthy as fuck, he's good to me. He's an asshole, but he's still good to me. Hell, he'll talk shit while making me a sandwich. Imagine that. And then there's, Sean is one of Gary's grandkids. Brady and Katie are both Cammie's kids. And Katie, I call her Miss Kate. She's a pretty decent person. She had an attitude when she was younger, and I hope she still has it. Jason's got a daughter, and she's pretty cool. I guess. I don't really know her that well. Although I was in the house when she was conceived. I was in high school, and I was trying to finish high school after I got out of Pine Ridge Job Corps Center. And I was living with Big J. And, yeah, his girlfriend at the time was a very stuck-up person. She's probably still the same way. She married a police officer. Rory has 3 kids. Sean is the oldest. And then Brent, he's a police officer. And then Dana has 2 kids, I think. The oldest is Jace, and I'm not going to tell you his daughter's name. Jace, he got to see just a little bit of the stuff that I had to show, and the exact words out of his mouth were, "Holy fuck." Did you show this to the police? I fucking tried, Jace. I really did. But it wasn't just Jace there at the time. There were 3 kids there at the time. 3 kids got to see that. I recorded a conversation between myself and Jace as well. You can go back in time on my timeline or on my YouTube here and find that as well. And Brent, he's a little redhead. He's the one who's a police officer. He's very level-headed. He's lighthearted and he's funny. If I was a woman, I would want to date Brent. Or Bump, as some of the folks in his family call him. The Jepsons were always good to me. 2 different families. When I got dropped off at 18 with a t-shirt, a pair of pants, and 1 shoe. It was Ron and Terry and their 2 kids at the time that were still there, Kim and Jason, that allowed me to stay in their garage in the loft. I didn't even have ID. Gary put me to work when nobody else would. People don't like you when you're different, and Chapel, Nebraska ain't the place to be if you're autistic. It ain't the place to be if you got Tourette's syndrome. It ain't the place to be dropped off from the system into, that's for sure. The first time I met Big J, he was actually over at my mom's house because my older brother was having an issue with Jason's girlfriend. And those were twins as well, Lynn and Leslie Paul. Lynn was mean. She was really mean. But Leslie was really nice. And one day, I was pissed off at Lynn, and I was going off on Leslie about it. Not registering in my own head that they're 2 completely different people. And she grabbed her hair, and she said, Leslie has less hair. I don't get to see any of them.